Listen, people are fighting for the lives. It's not a joke. Leave us the alone. Look at my face. I saved you this time. You're the last one.
Hey, get the out of here with the going. Keep going. We got this.
Keep walking.
Keep walking.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Hernandez here. We have a very, very serious episode tonight, not only for the reasons of what took place last night in Hollywood, California, but because of who it happened to. Not only an amazing journalist with Scriberr News, Kalen D'almeida, but one of my best friends. Watching this footage is not easy to watch. Reporting on this footage is not easy to report, especially when it's someone that is this close to you. But we have to expose the truth, and we have to expose what these evil people are doing on a daily basis, because Antifa, Black Lives Matter, they are not peaceful protesters. They're not protesters to begin with. These are rioters. These are criminals. These are insurrectionists. These are arsonists. These are people that attempt murder. They literally physically assault journalists like Kalen himself last night for simply reporting the news. So I want to welcome you guys to the show. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel immediately and hit that bell notification, but also toggle on the all selection, because if you don't, YouTube leaves you on a default selection that only gives you occasional notifications. So please do that for me right now. Also, share this video far and wide wherever you could post a link. This is a very important episode. Please share this video on your Gab, your Parler, your Twitter, your Facebook, wherever a link can be posted. Do it now. Also, smash that like button, destroy that like button. Let your own algorithm on your own channel know you want to continue to see these videos. That is what that does. And we do super chats at the end of every single show. So if you guys would like to support me, I'm 100% independent and alternative media. So if you would like to support me and what I am doing, you guys can drop a super chat. We do Q&As at the end of every single episode, or you can become a member, DH Alliance, here on this channel, become a monthly contributor, or you can donate one time. The link is in the description on my website, drewhlive.com. We have a lot of trips. We have a lot of projects coming up. I'm not Fox. I'm not CNN. I don't have a multi-million-dollar budget. I only have we, the people. So I appreciate all the support very much, guys. So here we go. So I'm going to play you guys a video. I'm going to play you guys the full clip. before we bring Kalen on. I'm going to play you guys the clip. He was in Hollywood, California last night covering a BLM march. But we all know what those turn into. Those get violent. They end up becoming some kind of riots, or they're civil unrest that are 100% illegal, and police have to retaliate. But Kalen was simply documenting. He was live streaming. He was recording footage following the marchers in Hollywood. I'm going to let him explain the story in more context after I show you this clip. But as he was documenting, some individuals in Black Bloc, we're assuming Antifa or some radical thugs, literally physically assaulted him, sucker punched him multiple times, brought him to the ground unconscious, and then began to stomp on his head, while about maybe 50 to 60 people just mobbed him, with 40 police officers about 15 feet away, just watching, doing nothing. So this is what pisses me off the most, not only because he's my best friend, but because police officers should be intervening at some level. Especially when it's a journalist. It's just ridiculous. But we know what's happening to law and order. They're being decimated. They're being neutered. They are literally having the power that they have been given to protect and to serve be pulled straight under the rug from them. So I'm going to let Kalen explain these things after this clip. So here's the full clip. I cannot play Kalen being beat. I can't play any of the physical violence because YouTube will demonetize my channel even further. I'm going to play you the clip after he was already assaulted. You guys can see the full clips on his Twitter, on Scriberr News Twitter, on my Twitter. You can find this. It's viral right now. Andy No is retweeting it. But I'm going to play you the clip after he was already assaulted. Coming to, he was unconscious on the ground. This BLM activist, so-called leader, was threatening him, saying, "I saved you. It could have been worse." All these crazy things, literally just threatening his life as he comes to. So here is the video. Take a look.
You learned your f***ing lesson, right? Keep marching! If you give a fuck! If you give a
He wouldn't do that for you.
Keep marching!
Let's go! Let's go! Keep going!
Keep marching! Keep marching! Listen, people are fighting for the f***ing lives. It's not a joke. Leave us the f*** alone. Look at my face. I saved you this time. You're the last one.
Hey, get the f*** out of here with the point. Keep going! We got this!
Keep walking!
Keep walking!
Let's go! Get out of here! Get the fuck out of here, because it's your last chance. You're lucky. Get out of here. Walk that way. Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, let's go! Let's go, it's over, let's go!
You're threatening me! Stop threatening me!
It's over!
That's enough! Stop threatening me! Stop threatening me! Stop threatening me!
Coming through!
Out the way!
Alrighty, joining me now is Kalen D'almeida, correspondent with Scriberr News, reporter, co-founder with Scriberr News. Not only those big titles, but probably one of my best friends on the face of planet Earth. Kalen, how you feeling, man?
I am a little bit hazy still in my mind, the result of moderate concussion after what took place last night. But thanks for having me on to talk about what took place.
Yeah, so, Kalen, thanks for coming on, man. Like when I saw the footage last night, I just you can ask my wife, man. Like my heart dropped. It was not easy to watch. I was pissed. I was walking around the room like contemplating getting a flight, going and seeing you. This stuff is not easy to watch. This stuff is not easy to see, especially when it's, we cover this stuff, but when it's one of us, especially when, all of us are so close, like Daily Caller with George Ventura, Blaze, Elijah Schaefer, Savannah Hernandez, and all these other people, Andy No, like when we see one of ours go down like that, it's not an easy thing to watch. So I'm very thankful that you're safe. I'm very thankful that you're not in a hospital right now, unconscious even further. So praise God for that. And I'm very thankful. So Kalen, give us full context, man, because this kind of stuff, I mean, I could answer these questions on my own, but when someone's on the ground, these things deserve full context. So what exactly, like the whole day, right? Because you were reporting at other BLM events,
Yeah.
right? So what
Yeah.
led? This even goes further back than that. I'm going to bring that point up as well with Chad Lauder as well, because you've been doxxed. They've slandered you. They call you a fascist. They call you a white supremacist, and these things lead up to these kinds of things. So we'll get to that, but this particular day, what led up to this?
You cut out there for a minute, but I'll go ahead and just start off with yesterday. Is that
Go
good?
for it.
Okay, so yesterday there was a couple of events planned. One small event in Pasadena, which we covered. There was a few speakers to speak of. Covered that to get a news package for Scriberr News. And usually the same stuff that you'll hear at a lot of these events: abolish the police, defund the police. White supremacy is the only problem that exists in the world, and it must be defeated, and we'll do that through socialism, communism, anarchy. That's essentially what you hear at these events. You also hear anecdotal stories about personal experiences that are unverifiable coming from these speakers as well. So that's my opinion. I had no intention of being of instigating or anything like that. So 8:30 rolls around. I'm in Hollywood. That's when this vigil. It was actually a vigil. It was a bit different than what we normally see, for me at least, being, Portland, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Kenosha, Chicago, Tulsa, all these places. They had candles. They were in front of Chase Bank at Sunset and Vine. Candles, flowers. They had a booth set up with some documents, things like that. But they were playing songs. They were singing along. Then they had their speakers, played another song, and then it concluded, and then all of a sudden a fight breaks out in the street. Meanwhile, law enforcement is at all the other corners of the street. So they're across the street at this corner, the immediately diagonal corner, and then the other corner. And they're just watching. They're not doing anything the entire night. And so then the march starts. They start marching down the street. We're having a good time. I'm not documenting or trying to document anything in particular. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm just there recording what's happening, and that's it, on a live stream. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm talking to people, introducing myself. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing nefarious to their cause. Some motorcycle riders come up. They're burning out. Seems like a party, right? The march continues down Hollywood Boulevard. It eventually gets to, I would say, Wilcox. And they're really bothering this other live streamer. His name is What You See Is What You Get. And I introduced myself to him. By the time we got to Highland, they had been harassing him and threatening him for, the stretch of that street. And as we turned down Highland, I'm pretty far up away from law enforcement, because law enforcement is kind of just following behind down the sidewalk. And I'm walking next to this is where everything begins. It's a gated empty lot. Someone comes up from behind me. So I have my phone in my hand like this. Someone comes up from behind me and takes my phone and runs into the middle of the street. So I go and I follow him, and I try to get my phone back. And as soon as I follow him, they start alerting each other. Hey, watch out, And so now they're mobbing me. Now the mob is forming. Fascist, Nazi, and they start pushing me forward, further and further up ahead to the front, further away from law enforcement. And then what they do is they have individuals flank and come up from behind you. So as they're pushing you forward and you're facing them, someone comes up from behind and tries to trip you, make you fall over. And then at which point, in my case, someone did do that. I move past them. Then someone comes up and just punches me square in the face, and I knock out. At that point, the entire mob gets on top of me. I'm getting knees to the face, kicks, all kinds of stuff. I shielded myself as best I could with, what consciousness I had. And I'm lucky it wasn't worse. But I've noticed now that I've got some bruising around my kidneys on the left side. I do remember getting kicked pretty hard there. But yeah, it's just stomps, knees, kicks. My wrists are and forearms here are completely, I'm just in pain. But I'm lucky it wasn't worse. I don't look bad, Yeah. So,
we're thankful for that, man, especially everyone watching right now. I think everybody's thankful for that, bro, because watching this stuff is not easy to watch, especially knowing someone personally that's on the ground. But I wanted to bring some nuance to this because I think people, when they watch this, it's like, that's just Antifa and Black Lives Matter doing what Antifa and Black Lives Matter do. They just physically assault people, trying to bring them in a shadow so nobody could see. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to point out about this. This assault on you is something that's been developing over a period of months, because you have individuals on Twitter. All of this stuff is coordinated. You have dudes on Twitter that have big followings that Antifa, that are not only Antifa sympathizers, but Antifa sympathizes with them and sees them as an ally. And they have these people in the media on Twitter that they look to for sources of intel. They dox people. They take pictures of them. They drop their photos on Twitter. They've done it to you. They've done it to me. They've done it to Tomas. They've done it to everyone, right? So what I want people to understand is that the reason why the title of this episode is Targeted Attack is because this is something that has been developing for a while. Kalen has been doxxed. Antifa has dropped some of his personal information on Twitter. They try posting pictures of him. So explain to us, Kalen, how this process kind of takes place where you get doxxed on Twitter, they drop personal information, and then you end up reporting in real time. So that has sent a message already that, hey, if you see this guy, you do this to him because he's a fascist. Explain to how those smears really continue to put us in danger like this.
Well, essentially, what happens is, and we've had to adjust the way that we would do things. I don't want to go I don't know how far into detail.
Yeah, don't give too much because we don't want to know.
Yeah. But essentially, if they know that you're in a specific location, or they find out, right, they see your Twitter feed. So, for example, I embedded last year with Antifa at the very beginning. They were going to go and protest the MAGA Trump supporters that would meet in Beverly Hills. I got there very early. I embedded very well, and I saw this guy who I recognized from social media. He's a known internet troll, Antifa, cybersecurity, big man, purportedly, or self-proclaimed, and his name's Chad Loader. And he had been calling me out and letting all of his 80,000 followers on Twitter know that I was even in Portland over the summer. That's when this started. So once he knew that I was in LA, he began searching other people's footage for me. They match up my footage with other people's footage. They find you and say, this is what Kalen looks like. If you see him out here, do I need to say any more? Well, no, because they know what to do. They find you and they do what they did last night. They pretend as though it's something that was deserved, as though I had done something antagonistic to deserve it. And the fact of the matter is that I did nothing. I was just there, and I was just filming. And these people they're filled with hate.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it was a specific person that they were going after. They go, that's the one that we know. That's the one that we have a profile in our secret encrypted repository of all the people that we hate and are a threat to us. That's one that you should get if you see him. And so that's what this is.
And not only that, what they do, like the process is these dudes on Twitter like Chad Lauder, and just, I don't want to make this about me, but the shots this guy has taken at me personally has called me a white supremacist sympathizer that's Hispanic, that works alongside white supremacists to get them the footage that they want to smear minorities. So just to give people watching an idea of how it sounds funny, but this kind of slander, it's intentional, because you do have thousands of Antifa kids that believe this stuff. So they put out a dog whistle about you. They say, you're a white supremacist, or you're a white supremacist sympathizer, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that, you're all these things, when you're obviously not. But it doesn't matter, because they put that narrative out, they put that propaganda out, because they simply just don't like you. Yes, they're evil, but they simply just don't like you, and they want to see you beaten. They want to see you get killed. They want to see you on footage, because yesterday, when all this footage started coming out, Kalen, of you getting taken to the ground and getting back up, just like completely unconscious, barely conscious, Chad Lauder immediately put those clips up and said, oh, hey, look, it's Kalen D, white supremacist, whatever, looking kind of woozy, it's like, so people need to see, like, that's not journalism. You know, these people pose as journalists. Like, you don't post stuff like that. People that have been targeted and physically assaulted, and then put a clip of it just mocking their assault. The reason why they do this is because it is a coordinated plan. And so I just wanted people to understand that. And so also, Kalen, I want to get your opinion on this. One thing that really pissed me off, and a lot of my viewers understand, is I'm not 100% back the blue. Conservatives hate me for that, because, they know my opinions. They know what I have to say, because when you end up in a police state, you're dealing with the blue that is enforcing that police state, and that happens. And I'm not 100% back the blue, because I don't back corrupt blue. I back the good blue. I have these views, and my viewers know where I stand. Of course, I support police officers that are good, honest, police officers of honor and integrity of the badge, and sacrifice their lives every day. But I don't support crooked cops. I don't think anybody should. So that's why I'm not blindly 100% back the blue. But to prove further my point, this damn video, which really pissed me off last night, was, Kalen, how long? Okay, because when you see the full video and the camera pans, you see like a squad of police officers in riot gear. There's at least 30, 40, maybe 50. And not only are they just there, and you have Kalen on the floor getting stomped out, unconscious, people grabbing you by the face, slapping you in the face, screaming in your face, with like 50 people mobbed around you, and there's 40 police officers in riot gear 15 feet away doing nothing. What the hell, man? Is there an answer for that? Were they following you guys all night? I can't make sense of it, bro. It really pisses me off. I just got to be honest. I got to keep it 100 on the show.
In this case specifically, they, like I said from the beginning, they weren't doing anything. They were just standing by, and I think there's a very, very nuanced problem that they face as officers in engaging, doing something about this, because they could get in trouble in some way. I think that there is a strategic chess match that these people are playing, and they have law enforcement in a really tight box, and they know that they won't step out of bounds. So they're getting away with this stuff for those reasons. And like I said, it's a little more nuanced, but I would agree kind of with you on, you can't just willy-nilly back all law enforcement, because you just can't. You just can't.
And I don't think anyone on this stream is going to blame you, man. I don't think there's any excuse for just allowing a human being to be beaten like that without any intervention, especially police officers squad up in full riot gear. I don't care what, like, I there's nothing in my brain that's like, oh, well, it's just procedure. If someone requests and this, we don't want to agitate the crowd. It's like, So if someone's sitting there like getting beaten to death and they could possibly die, there's a protocol to not agitate. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense. It's a human life. It's you're my friend, you're my little brother. That really pissed me off. But you know, when you say there's more nuance to it, because you were talking about this to me before the show, take that a little deeper, bro, because I think your opinion on that is what a lot of people do feel and understand. Earlier, when you were telling me before the show that you know that there's a strategic chess game, you know that there's this strategic a war where Antifa and BLM are winning. They are winning. They have successfully pushed law enforcement into a position where they are not able to do anything in these kind of cases. So just kind of bring a little bit more nuance on that if you can.
Honestly, it cut out for about 45 seconds.
Yeah,
so.
just bring a little bit more nuance if you can on how Antifa is effectively winning. They are effectively winning. They are putting police officers into a position where they're basically neutering them. But it is strategic and it's happening. Just really go deep on that, bro, because I feel like your opinions, when you talk to me on the phone about it, it's good stuff, man. Don't hold back. Don't be afraid. Who cares what people have to say? Because I think it's true. I think it's honestly true.
Well, so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I am a little hazy,
It's okay.
But I know that for law enforcement, there is a risk of being indicted to some degree if they get themselves involved in something that would be sort of like a spirit of the law public service, right? They see someone getting beat up, they can go and help, but they may be putting themselves at risk, potentially. But there's another part of this where and I lost it. Sorry, man.
It's all good. The parts I think that we're trying to get to is that it's putting law enforcement into a position where, because there's so much pressure, right? Because there's so many shootings, because the media has publicized this, the media has smeared police officers. I think police officers are now being put in a position where it's like, if I go and do the right thing, I could still possibly be indicted. Because if this goes south and someone gets shot, someone gets killed, someone loses their life, even though I'm justified in doing so, you could still be thrown in prison for the rest of your life. And I think that's kind of what, I think the points that Kalen and I are trying to make is Antifa and Black Lives Matter, they are willfully doing this. This is strategically done. They are putting police officers in these positions where now they're afraid to do anything.
It came to me just now. They want to prove through this strategy that they are not there to protect you. They're there only to protect property, which is what they were doing. So it was they're completing their goal and sending their message, because where were the police lined up? In front of Walgreens, in front of Bank of America, in front of the apartment building. People are starting to fight and they're doing nothing. Go down the street a little bit. I'm getting beat up. They're not helping. And when Antifa is marching, a lot of the times they're saying, who do you, they're screaming, who do you protect? Or they're screaming about how they protect themselves. Mm-hmm. And so if you come out and you're not on their side, they're going to beat you up and show that the police are not on your side. Doesn't matter what you believe personally. I've never had a conversation with any one of these people, so they don't know what I believe. But it doesn't matter. They're getting their message across, and it's multifaceted. Their goal. It's not just about whether they know it or not. They may be focused on white supremacy or defunding the police, but whether they know it or not, they're a cog in a much larger machine, and we'll see where it goes, into the future as their ideas become more mainstream.
Gotcha, Kalen. Last question on the subject, because I know you went through a lot last night, and I don't want to keep you on too long. You put on your Instagram a carousel of all the clips and some photos with your nose bleeding, the screenshot of you on the floor trying to pull yourself up. But you said on your Instagram, you said, things like this only motivate me. Thanks to everyone who reached out with the kind thoughts and especially your prayers. I'll be recovering for the next week due to a moderate concussion and general pain from physical traumas from the attack. I love your boldness, man. Like, why don't you explain to the people what it means when you say things like this motivate me?
Audio cut out.
What does it mean to you when you say things like this motivate me, like you posted on your Instagram?
It just motivates me to get better. So if that's what these people are really doing in the streets, then that's what I have to do. I'm not just going to, for example, whatever this girl meant when she was saying, have you learned your lesson? I didn't know what lesson there was to be learned. Didn't make any sense to me. If the lesson is anything, it's that you shouldn't go out and try to, I just have to take things a little more seriously and go back to basics when it comes to dealing with these people, and get better. Just get better. Develop new strategies and just make better content and come out harder against these people and really continue to expose their works of evil.
Gotcha. Kalen, where can the people find you, all your socials? Let them know right now so they can follow you and all of your work and how they can support you financially as well.
Sure. Guys, you can find me everywhere. Gab, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. My handle is @FromKalen, FromKalen. If you want to support me financially and help me to do this full time, you can find my PayPal, which is FromKalen1, or my Venmo, which is FromKalen. I also have a Patreon, just $1 or $2 a month. We can work with that. But the goal would be to do this full time. Please follow me on those social media accounts, most active on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube into the future. So,
gotcha. All right, Kalen, love you, buddy. Get some rest, man,
Thanks.
And prayers for a speedy recover.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty, guys. We're going to continue with the show tonight. If you guys could consider supporting Kalen as well. He's an amazing journalist. I love him. He's a little brother to me. So if you guys could do so, that would be a huge, huge support to me. But we got a few more minutes left on the show, and there's something that I wanted to bring up. This is why we have to support independent alternative media. The reason being so is because we don't have gigantic multi-million-dollar budgets, and these kinds of things are happening to us, and we are extremely vital, because without us, you guys wouldn't be able to see some of the things that are being shown. With the remainder of our time, I wanted to bring something up, though. Speaking of Black Lives Matter, okay, and speaking of Antifa, this is what they do, okay? And they get away with this, and they get a pass, right? Black Lives Matter, they get a pass because of the color of their skin. Antifa gets a pass because the President of the United States says they're just an idea. Jerry Nadler says that it's a myth. These people get a pass when they're committing violent crime, when they're committing physical assault against journalists that are just live streaming. They're slandering, they're defaming, literally, doxing, which is leading to people getting physically assaulted in the streets like Kalen. This has happened to me too. Antifa has put hands on me too in Portland. It's happened to Elijah Schaefer. It's happened to countless journalists that are doing these things, that are covering these events, that are covering these riots. And so one thing that I want you guys to understand, this is what they do. This was a Black Lives Matter march, okay? A march. And Antifa was there at the same time. So while these things are taking place, you have Disney, you have Nickelodeon, you have the mainstream media, CNN, you have all these giant corporations that are blasting Black Lives Matter on all of their branding. They're supporting the movement. We support Black lives, support Black businesses with Uber and Uber Eats, and everything is painted with this damn organization, and they're racking millions, billions of dollars from donations in the United States of America and worldwide as well. But, okay, now you guys are going to like this. This is just, if this doesn't prove to you, are you guys listening? If this doesn't prove to you that this organization is 100% fraudulent and is just completely a joke and not even real, okay, I don't know what else will. Let's get this up. Washington Examiner, Breonna Taylor. Okay, for those of you that don't know who Breonna Taylor is the young lady that was shot in Louisville because she was in her drug dealer's boyfriend's apartment that was being raided. They had a no-knock warrant, but they didn't even use it. They knocked anyways. They busted into the apartment, and apparently guns were drawn. People got shot. People got killed. But the mainstream media spun it and said that Breonna Taylor was shot because she was Black. Okay, this is one of the saints of Black Lives Matter. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the list goes on, right? Jacob Blake, all these people that have just been glorified for all of eternity in Black Lives Matter and all these radical leftist movements. So get this. Breonna Taylor's mother, the mother, rips Black Lives Matter Louisville and activists using her daughter's name. So for all the woke Wookiees out there, we're talking about Breonna Taylor's mom, okay? One of the Black Lives Matter saints that have achieved sainthood. Breonna Taylor, her own mom, is coming up against Black Lives Matter. Let's continue. Tamika Palmer, the mother of Breonna Taylor, criticized the Louisville chapter of Black Lives Matter and other activists who have involved her daughter's name in efforts to rally change. In a Wednesday Facebook post, Palmer lamented about how her daughter's friends and family and other close families to her are the only ones that have supported Palmer since Taylor, her death, a Black 26-year-old emergency medical technician who was shot and killed in a police raid in March 2020. This is what Breonna Taylor's mother said. I have never personally dealt with Black Lives Matter Louisville and personally have found them to be fraud. Breonna Taylor's mother wrote. Palmer also called Rep. Atika Scott, a Kentucky House Democrat who has spearheaded efforts to try and ban no-knock warrants in a bill named for Taylor, right? Another fraud. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signed a less restrictive form of this bill this month, limiting the use of no-knock warrants rather than enacting an outright ban. Palmer dismissed talk of people saying they've raised money on behalf of her family or claiming they know her personally. This is what Breonna Taylor's mother has said. I could walk in a room full of people who claim to be here for Breonna's family who don't even know who I am. Palmer said, I've watched y'all raise money on behalf of Breonna's family who has never done a damn thing for us, nor have we needed it. She's talking to Black Lives Matter. Breonna Taylor's mom, bro. Asked, so talk about fraud. It's amazing how many people have lost focus. I'm going to say this before I go. I'm so sick of some of y'all, and I was last anybody who needs it. Taylor's death, along the other Black people who died at the hands of law enforcement, sparked national riots throughout 2020 against racial injustice and police brutality. Let's take this down. So now we have, listen, if this doesn't show to you or prove to you that Black Lives Matter is a grift and a fraudulent organization, yeah, we know about the co-founder racking in billions of dollars, buying $1 million estates, but now Breonna Taylor's mom is coming out and literally calling the organization a bunch of frauds and saying when she walks into a room, around a bunch of BLM activists that are saying, say her name, Breonna Taylor, say her name, Breonna Taylor. They don't even know who her mom is, son. The mother of Breonna Taylor is claiming when she walks into a room filled with Black Lives Matter activists, they don't even know who the hell she is. These people are literally racking in millions of dollars in donations into their pockets, using and leveraging the name of a black woman that was shot, Breonna Taylor, and the mother is claiming that they don't even know who she is. She's calling them fraudulent. She's calling them not real. She's saying that she's pissed off at them. She's saying that they've never done anything for her family. Breonna Taylor's own mother is exposing Black Lives Matter. Fact. That's not a conservative talking point. That's not a right-wing conspiracy theory. That's not some white supremacist thing to say. This is 100% true. Breonna Taylor, her own mother, is coming out and saying this. So, I mean, I don't know if YouTube is going to be mad because I'm saying this. This is the truth. You guys care about Black lives, right? YouTube, Twitter, big tech, Black voices matter, right? Black voices matter, right? We're not going to silence Black voices, are we now, Twitter? We're not going to silence Black voices now, are we, YouTube? Hey, Google, I thought Black voices matter. Okay, so now you have a Black voice saying that Black Lives Matter is fraudulent, and that Black voice just happens to be Breonna Taylor's own mom, son. You guys going to silence that? You going to censor that? You're going to deboost that? You're going to suppress that? Oh, but Black voices matter. Black voices matter. We'll see just how long this can be allowed on the internet, because this goes against the narrative. It goes against what they believe. It goes against what's being pushed into the mainstream media. It goes against the pop culture. They don't want you to know that Breonna Taylor's own freaking mom is condemning Black Lives Matter as a fraudulent organization and claiming that they've done nothing for her and her family. What do you hear? George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. That's all you have been hearing in 2020 at all of these Black Lives Matter gatherings, riots, and protests. Breonna Taylor. Now her own freaking mom is saying BLM is fraud. Don't get mad at me. You guys claim to love Breonna Taylor. Black voices matter, right? All the left woke Wookiees out there trickling in from Twitter. Okay, so what now? What now? You guys gonna go after Breonna Taylor's mom? Silence her? Shut her up? Listen, if this doesn't prove to you that this organization is 100% fraudulent, I don't know what else will. Because when you have one of the glorified saints, Breonna Taylor, who was shot and killed by police officers, all you ever hear is Breonna Taylor's name at these protests and riots and gatherings. Now her own mom is claiming BLM is fraudulent and has done nothing for her family. Stop supporting this fraudulent organization that is manipulating and that is capitalizing off of Black lives and Black people being shot, being killed. That is what they do. That is their brand. And now even one of the members of one of the infamous Black Lives shootings, Breonna Taylor herself, her own mother, is now coming out and exposing them. Oh my goodness, man. I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up, man, because, people come in and they say, oh, you're just a right winger. You're a white supremacist. You're just smearing Black people. Okay, well, we'll take it from a Black life. Take it from a Black mom herself. Take it from a Black voice herself, of a mother who lost her daughter that got shot and killed because, in my opinion, she was engaged in criminal activity. Those are the facts. But still, she is coming out and saying that BLM is a fraudulent organization. That's what she said. Okay, so you take it up with her. BLM is nothing but a lie. Literally. Alrighty, guys, let's do some super chats. We have some trips coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. If you guys are not going to stay and hang back for our super chat segment, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification and toggle on the all selection and smash that like button. Let's get to 500 likes. I know we can do it. Let's do this right now. We're gonna do some super chats right now. So we have some trips coming up. Minneapolis, I cannot drop any dates. Minnesota, we have some border trips. Tucson, Yuma, South Texas. We're going to be covering other riots. Portland is about to blow off too. So if you guys would like to support me, support independent media, alternative media, I cannot do this without you guys. I don't have a huge budget, okay? Like when we go do this and risk our lives, it's not like we're funded by like multi-million-dollar corporations. We are in this together. We are engaging this together. So thank you guys so much for the support, guys. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Or you can give a one-time donation on my website. If you would like to write a comment on Cash App or Venmo and drop a donation on Venmo, I will read it on air right here. Or you can donate on PayPal or become a monthly supporter here. Join the DH Alliance today on this channel. So I am going to bring up some of these super chats. I see some of them coming in. And by the way, I'm going to make this announcement. I will be on Timcast IRL on April 29th. So be on the lookout for that. I will be on with Tim Pool and Lydia and the gang on April 29th. That is obviously 2021. So be on the lookout for that. That is going to be a fire and electrifying episode. I'm super excited for that. So let's do some super chats before we move on. Okay, here we go. I'm pulling these up. I want to thank you guys for the support and also thank you guys for your prayers and your love and your kindness towards Kalen. That is literally a little brother to me. Not by blood, but that is, you guys, it's very hard to watch that footage. So it sucks. We have another super chat. We have a super chat from Sonia Peterson Shepherd. Sonia, thank you. We salute you for the $5 super chat. Sonia says, please be safe. You've been shared and liked. Hugs. Thank you, Sonia, for sharing the show. Thank you for liking the show, guys. Anytime you see a piece of content from me, whether it's on Instagram, on Gab, on Twitter, on YouTube, guys, the only way to beat these censors and beat the deboosting is to share, 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 share. They don't want you to share. That's why we go down in views, because they know that people tend to be lazy and think that the algorithm will just do it for them, when in reality, the algorithm is bearing this channel. Okay, with 52,000 subscribers, I could barely get 3,000 views if I'm lucky. So that's by design. They want you to be lazy. They want you to be complacent. So let's not. All right, DH Alliance, I support you. And I mean, I believe in you, and I thank you for supporting me. I really do. We have another super chat from Whatever and Everything. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Whatever and Everything says, nah, son, if that was my friend, I have to get revenge. I pray no one comes at me like that, or I don't know if this is a threat or goes against YouTube's guidelines, but Whatever and Everything is essentially saying that he would have to defend himself if anyone were to ever come at him like Kalen got attacked yesterday. I have no issue getting jumped, but I will get my licks in. Cowards. I totally agree with you, man. I 100% believe in self-defense, especially when you've been targeted. This is what happens to us, you guys. We get doxxed. They come after our families. If you have a 9-to-5 or if you have a career outside of media, they will come after your job. They will try and tell your boss that you're a white supremacist or a neo-Nazi. What they do is they slander you. They put the propaganda out there. They defame you, these journalists, right? These Antifa, BLM sympathizers on Twitter. So once they do that, whenever you're seen out on the field, that's already out there. If you've been said to be a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, or a fascist, any one of those things, that's it. You've been designated. No research, no facts. They just do that. And the reason why they do that is because once they see you out on the street, they'll do to you what they did to Kalen. So thank you guys for the support, man. The stuff that we do is extremely dangerous, but it's necessary because the mainstream media won't do it. And, you know, Kalen is very good at what he does. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give too much information. But we do work together a lot. So thank you guys. We have some more super chats. Like I said, every single one of these super chats goes to supporting me and my trips, my safety, and everything that I have going on. I do have some trips coming up. I think we're going to see the worst riots that we've ever seen in the United States of America at the conclusion of the Chauvin trial. That's coming up. So if you guys would like to get behind me and support this stuff, especially the border issues, the southern border stuff, we have so much stuff going on. So thank you guys. We have another super chat, 2 super chats, $30 from Slow to Anger. From Slow to Anger, we have 1 super sticker that says fan. I'm not sure. It's just a super sticker of Number one, a super sticker from Slow to Anger, a $30 super chat. Thank you so much, Slow to Anger. We salute you. Thank you so much for the support. We definitely need it and appreciate it. Thank you guys for supporting us and what we do. It's extremely essential and vital. So thank you, Slow to Anger. We truly appreciate your support. We try to be number one because anytime what I try to do is I depend on God for everything. I depend on God's grace for all that I do. But at the same time, I want to be the best that I can be because that produces the best content and the best production of what I'm capable of doing. So everything I try and do is top notch by the grace of God. So that is what you're supporting when you support Drew Hernandez, whether monthly or a one-time. We have another super chat from Aletha Lee. Aletha Lee, thank you for the $5 super chat. Aletha says, respect your work. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. I think a lot of people take this kind of stuff for granted, man. Like, you don't go to school for this. There's no learn how to be an undercover journalist embedded with Antifa and Black Lives Matter class or anything like that. We've by God's grace, we saw what was needed to be done. And we started making decisions and we started going out and doing it. And so we're learning as we go along. And we've had some mentors along the way as well to help us with some certain things, intel, things like that. So thank you so much, Aletha Lee. We have another super chat from Zach Kahila. Zach Kahia with the $5 super chat. Zach, we salute you. Zach says, BLM, Black Lives Monetized. That is a wow. That is so true. I mean, I've been saying this over and over and over again these past couple days. That is exactly what they do. Black Lives Matter is monetizing off of the deaths of black people that get shot or that get killed by cops, whether just or unjustified. It doesn't matter. If someone that is a person of color gets shot by a cop, that means $ for Black Lives Matter because they riot, they loot, they make a scene. So on the national scale, they pressure, they bully, they intimidate. So national corporations, mainstream corporations, they think, let's bow down to the black people. They're so oppressed. Let's give them what they want. So they stop rioting and looting and committing arson. But if you're CNN and you do that and you peddle, you show up to a riot anyways, you get clocked in the dome. I showed you guys that yesterday, right? So you're totally right. Black lives monetize. I totally agree with that statement. And it's black people that do it to black people. That's the story you never hear. It's black people that do it to black people. That's what takes place. DH Alliance, I truly appreciate your support, guys. I love you guys very much. Consider becoming a monthly member on this channel or a one-time donation. We have another super chat from Chrissy Richardson. Thank you, Chrissy. We salute you for the $5 super chat. Chrissy says, bless you and Kalen and all that you do to keep all of us informed and letting us see what's really going on in this crazy world. Yes, thank you again. Thank you for the blessings, guys. I cannot, please pray for us. I'm going to say that too. Especially if you're a Christian, your walk with God, dealing with this kind of stuff. When I was talking to Kalen last night, I know he can't really remember a lot right now because he obviously has a concussion and he wanted to come on. It wasn't like, I need you to come on. It's a top story. Like he wanted to tell his story. That guy's my little brother, man. But one of the things that he was saying was, he knows that God is with him in this situation because he could see it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Okay. They could have killed him. They could have put him in a coma. They could have done so much more. I know this sounds weird, but by God's grace, they didn't go, as violent as they usually and typically do. And so I thank God for that. So always be praying for us, man. Whenever you see Kalen, you see me, you see Elijah Schaefer, you see guys like James Klug, you see guys like Jorge Ventura, you see the Daily Caller, you see Julio Rojas, you see Julio, all these different guys that cover the riots, man. Pray for every single one of us, man, because this is a dangerous, I don't even want to call it a business, man, because this is not just a business. It's a dangerous career. It's a dangerous job. But it's definitely necessary. So thank you guys. We have another super chat, a $10 super chat. We salute you. Giorgio? I'll just leave it at that, man. I don't know if I can pronounce your last name. Giorgio, thank you for the $10 super chat. There is no message from Giorgio, but we do have a $10 super chat. So Giorgio, I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Whether it's $10, $5, $1, $20, or $100, man, this stuff really helps me in what I have going on. DH Alliance, we all thank you. Everybody say thank you to everybody that is donating tonight to keep us afloat. It definitely does help us with what we have going on. And, it's not just Kalen. It's not just myself. There's all kinds of different people, man, that get assaulted. I think one of the mistakes that a lot of journalists make, and God bless their hearts. There are people that claim to be nonpartisan or bipartisan or claim to be neutral. They're not picking a side. They're not picking left. They're not picking right. They claim to be centrist. Just from someone with experience, man, I've covered a lot of riots. And I've done a lot of stuff like this. And one thing I will tell you is there is no neutrality with Antifa. There is no neutrality with Black Lives Matter. And I think CNN found that out the hard way yesterday. But for people that are trying to do what we do, number one, I would tell you don't do it if you don't have the right intel, because you could get killed. You can get killed. Kalen admitted today that he needs to, really step up his game. And so he's right. He's right, because when you're kind of careless, you don't know what you're doing, you can get yourself killed. So if anyone's trying to get into this kind of journalism, the number one thing I would say that you need to have is intel. Intel on Antifa, accurate intel on Antifa, on Black Lives Matter, some of these shadow organizations, which we have. So, I mean, without that, I don't advise anyone to try and do this. It's extremely dangerous and can get you killed. It can get you killed. So we have some new members today. I think Aletha Lee just became a monthly member of the DH Alliance. Thank you, Aletha Lee. It's the only one that I could see right now on my little YouTube chat. Aletha Lee, thank you so much for being a monthly contributor here, joining the DH Alliance. Every single one of you guys, we are on this together. We are a family. Every single one of you that donate, guys, you guys are with me in spirit, in truth. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I cannot announce my location. I know people get frustrated. Like, where are you going to go next? Where are you going to go next? I cannot give a specific date or a specific location. And the reason being is because of the nature of what I do. Obviously, you saw what happened to Kalen. Those are some of the reasons why I can't come out and say, I'm going to be here in this specific location on this day. With the southern border, it's a little bit different for now. But covering Antifa and BLM, these people watch my show. They're scanning my Twitter. These people watch you. So just to give you guys some nuance, we have a couple more super chats from Latin Patriot. A $2 super chat from Latin Patriot. Thank you. We salute you. The DH Alliance thanks you. Latin Patriot says, peace and blessings to you and your loved ones. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Latin Patriot. Thank you for praying for my family. Thank you for thinking about my family. Obviously, you can understand my mom doesn't like what I do and my wife doesn't like what I do. You can only imagine how they feel, but we know that God has called us to this. So thank you guys. We have another super chat from JVS H-Town. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. JVS H-Town. I think that's just kind of like ingrained in my brain. I just remember you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I truly appreciate it. JVS H-Town. Man, you've been here for a while. He says, tried to donate through PayPal on your support page, but got an error message that the page doesn't exist. Well, we're going to have to take a look at that. We need to support the voices and people that are fighting for us. If the PayPal if the PayPal doesn't work on Drew H Live right now, we'll update that. Go to livesmatterofficial.com. That PayPal link will work. I'm sorry for every single one of you that weren't able to donate to PayPal. Not too sure why that link isn't working, but I'll take a look at it at the end of this show. But if you guys would like to donate on PayPal right now, go to livesmatterofficial.com if Drew H Live is not working for whatever reason. So, yes, we have another super chat from Slow to Anger. Slow to Anger, thank you for the $15 super chat. Slow to Anger doesn't have a message, but puts another comment below and says, I've been following. I'm not sure if YouTube is kind of stifling your comments. Have you been following for a while? Well, yes, let's show some honor. Say thank you. We salute you. Slow to Honor, a frequent supporter of mine that's been watching, a viewer that's been watching this show for a while. Slow to Anger. I truly. Oh, there it is. There it is. Slow to Anger says, I've been following you for years. Wow. And watched you grow. Keep up that great work, Drew. Hopefully we'll cross paths someday. God bless you. God bless you, Slow to Anger. Man, I truly appreciate it, man. I know there's people that have probably been following me since like 2018. And when you look at the progress, I mean, it sucks, right? Because, YouTube just deboosts us further. This channel used to get thousands of views. But now we can barely get 5,000 if I'm lucky. But, they don't want us speaking the truth. And that's what they want us to do, is be suppressed. So that's why we need your help, guys. We truly do. We truly do. So thank you, Slow to Anger, for being a supporter. Latin Patriot says, Drew Hernandez, is your Cash App still available? Yes. Click the link in the description at drewhlive.com, and the Cash App link should be in there. Let me know if those links aren't working, and I will get with the team and try and figure out why they keep doing that. So thank you very much. Truly do appreciate all the support tonight, guys. So, alrighty, guys. I think I will be hitting the road next week. So I will probably be doing this show from a hotel room. So just be on the lookout for that. Obviously, for those of you that don't watch me frequently, I travel. I'm an investigative reporter. I go across the USA. So I do this show. I keep this podcast going when I'm on the road. So I will see you guys on Monday. We do this show at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to share this video far and wide wherever you can post a link. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification and toggle on the all selection. And also, if you can do me a favor and share this wherever you can and smash that like button. Let's get to 500 likes. And like I said, if you guys would like to support me, the link is in the description below, or consider being a part of the DH Alliance today. I thank you guys very much. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe. I know riots are starting to pop off, especially if you live in Portland tonight. I think we're going to see some crazy action. If you live in a big blue city, stay safe, keep your family safe, and always remember, America, until next time, stay free.